Feature Friday.
The freshest. Okay, I've been getting tagged on these videos. I don't really know what the deal is, but people singing on a boat. Like I don't know.
I took
like,
one of these when I was
what?
younger. I took one of it's basically like a bus on water, mate. It's like a ferry.
Yes, like a ferry. And they're very hot. It gets really hot.
Uncomfortable and hostile.
Yeah,
I took only one because I got traumatized.
They weren't the best experience.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There is a karaoke machine! Oh my god! What?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What is this?
No, yeah.
Music really does unite people. I agree. It's a concert of their own.
Oh, bang it.
Sing along!
Oh.
What is this?
What a banging experience.
Freaking fun!
Also, that place is
It's
fucking
hot.
hot, mate.
It's hot.
What song is that and why do I recognize it? You know what? If I told you this was happening over there, you wouldn't believe me.
No, that's true.
Like people would be like, "Oh, you just, you're
come
taking
on,
the
you're
piss,
exaggerating."
mate." Exactly, like piss off, mate. Go do one. But it's actually happening. It actually happens.
Like in real life. And you know what's crazy? The news covered this. International news covered
Yeah, well, it's
this.
kind of weird.
Because it's nuts.
Well, also for like Western people, right? Like
This doesn't happen.
This is weird, man. Like this is just crazy.
It just doesn't happen.
This is fucking bizarre.
What is this nutsness?
So go.
I don't know this. I know the song, but I don't know the name of the song.
Back home, everyone used to have those
Pañuelitos.
Yeah, we call them pañuelos or paños, you know. Like it's just basically like
A piece of fabric or a little
yeah,
towel.
because everyone's so sweaty all the time, you know. Especially the big boys, they would sweat profusely. And we had a couple of big boys in the band, when we would tour and stuff, and they always had. They had several, you know, because goddamn did it get hot in Venezuela, you know, back then. And now imagine now with global warming, you know, it gets fucking crazier. Imagine the Philippines, you know, probably 20 years ago, maybe not that hot. Probably still fucking hot. Yeah.
It's always been
I don't
hot.
know. I'm just trying to, you know, everyone always says the change is climating, you know, so. I love swapping words. It's hilarious, you know, and plus it confuses the shit out of people.
Often, yeah,
You know?
you would find so. More, please. Everybody!
Oh. It's not Eraserheads, it's
Eat your words.
Oh, it stopped. Oh, damn.
La, la,
More,
la,
bruv.
La, la.
You know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure there's probably space there for a performer.
I'm
you know?
sure there was somebody on a microphone in the first clip.
Employ someone, bro. You know, and that's the great. Well, I guess it's difficult though. We've always discussed this. I think the Filipino market it's like it's a blessing and a curse because it's so hard to impress, man. Like it's difficult. I genuinely I feel because we speak to a lot of artists and stuff, and they tell us like, you know, when we go abroad and stuff, it's like. I think we've had so much practice with, you know, with our own people, with our own fans here, and the standard, the demand is a bit higher. Then when we go to other places, we're like, oh, we think we sort of did mid, and then everyone's going crazy. And then we're like, oh, damn, like, then it sort of is true that
The standard is so high.
yeah, the standard is a little bit higher because, you know, your neighbor could probably murder a couple of songs on the karaoke, and by murder I genuinely mean they've been practicing that fucking song for years, and they've been emulating some other great singers that are around the neighborhood and stuff. So just everyone's overall perspective and yeah, expectations is a little bit dodgy because you know, like everyone, there's a Regine Velasco next door, you know.
I wouldn't say dodgy.
There's an Ella Nympho, you know, next to you, a guy version. There's a fucking Celine, you know, Dion, Marcelito Pomoy version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I actually think I wouldn't say it's like it's just a distorted perception.
It's crazy. It's wild
of the expectations for singers,
which is good. I actually think.
Yeah. It's such an advantage.
Yeah, I actually think, fuck it, because if you make it there, you're going to be fine live performing another way. The brilliant bit about the Filipino music industry is the fact that, in my opinion, that industry, it's a consumer of live music first, correct. Studio music second.
Yes.
Hence why we've sort of, I don't know, connected in some way, because I obviously there are the similarities, right, between like Latin culture and Filipino culture. Cool. But in my opinion, I think the reason why we've connected so much in that sense
is because of the musical priority.
Yeah, rather than the cultural aspect. The cultural aspect obviously plays a role, you know. Yes. To a certain extent, you see, you know, like the little pañuelos thing, the little, I don't know what you call it in English.
Little towels?
Yeah, the little towels thing.
Handkerchiefs.
Yeah, handkerchiefs. But they're not really handkerchiefs, though. They're fucking mini towels, you know. They're like forehead sweat towels. You know what I'm talking about? That obviously brings back memories, and that's like a cultural, similarity there. But it's just because they're a live music lover first, and I think that's been lost in other parts of the world, and that's why you're getting, you know, sort of the music industry is rewarding studio music first, and I've always said the market sets the demand, and if right now that's what's selling, is because that's what the market wants, and I just think it's like lack of education. That's like lack of, mate, you don't know what you're missing, and then when you go to other parts of the world that appreciate. They're more like purists per se, and they can sort of like sniff bullshit faster, you know, because they're like, if I'm listening to urban music, their standards are different, because urban music in the Philippines is also huge.
Well, I also feel like people in the Philippines are quite smart in terms of like how you can. They understand that certain genres required a different type of like perception naturally.
Yeah, well, I think they know what you're getting served. You
exactly. But I think that's what makes the people know when to go to certain genres, because they know what they want. The boundaries are set very distinctly. Correct. In comparison to what happens in the West, that there are no boundaries. The standard for one genre could be the standard for others, and also it tends to be the lower standard.
To me, it's like the baseline level of music, of knowledge of the, you know, your everyday Joe. It's a little bit high in specific parts in the world. Like the Philippines is one of them, India's another one of them, Japan is another one of them. But for, you know, here in the UK, in the US, no one's gonna know what a world-class a cappella singer will be, because
nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, no, they don't have that much knowledge, and to a certain extent, their knowledge for the everyday person, are the shows like the X Factor, like The Voice, but that's not that high a level actually. And as a matter of fact, it's a lot more trickery than everyone thinks, especially in the West, which is a bit of a, what do you call it? It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, because also in the US and the UK, there's some great fucking artists here, mate. And this is not just like, oh, there's great artists in the Asia, not in the East, not in the West. No. It's great artists fucking everywhere, mate.
Correct.
And obviously there is a great level of artists in the West, in the UK, in the US. There's also more of a machine here, so way more sort of capital and investment and sort of, you know, legacies.
Yeah, bigger resources, a little bit more trickery to go with
but
it.
But in terms of the pool of talent, it's probably the same.
There's talented people everywhere.
Yeah, it's just I feel the perception and expectation of music in different parts of the world is different, and the Philippines is an example of that, where they prioritize live music first rather than studio music. However, perhaps that could be changing. I don't know. Let us know what you guys thoughts about it. That's always been my sort of perspective on it. But anyways, goodbye.